if I told you there's two guys working out right there, one of those guys is a street free agent that has been on 7 different teams, and the other guy is the best offensive lineman of his generation, and he's going to Canton, you would have the damnedest time telling me which was which. Damon, you and I do this for a living, and we do this every day, right? So we're talking Niners every day. It's pretty easy to see that the common rip for the 49ers coming into this year is they ignored their offensive line, and, it's going to burn them. Well, the more after OTAs, I'll say this, the cupboard is not bare on the offensive line. Dieter and I did a long stream last night where we both agreed that depth along the offensive line looks outstanding. Really, really good.
I mean, outstanding might be just a step too far down.
Well, no, the depth is outstanding, Damon. The depth is outstanding. They still have you can argue about the quality of a Colton McKivitz, the quality of a Ben Barch, the quality of a Jake Brendel in the starting unit, right? But when you get to the backups, they do, most teams keep 4 or 5 backups. They're going to have some really good backups. One of the things that came out of OTAs, because we had a chance to watch them on the field, then we had the next day had a chance, or a couple days later, we had a chance to go talk to the coaches. So I actually got a rare opportunity to watch practice, observe things, and then a couple days later, ask the coaches about what I saw. And it's very, very powerful when you can do that, right? So I had a chance to go sit down and talk to Chris Furster, the offensive line coach. And my first thought to him was, oh my God, Chris, Austin Pleasance looks amazing. Because, Damon, Austin Pleasance looks amazing. I mean,
but is he out there? Is he shadow boxing? I mean, are they doing
anything? No. They're doing the regular. They're doing what they do in practice for the Niners are just holding practices. The practices that they have, like, you're never getting to the live 11 on 11 in the OTAs. You're never getting there. But the rest of the practice is exactly a carbon copy of what they do in what they call individual. So they do one-on-ones and they do their drills. And it's, it's live reps, but no real hitting. I mean, it's offensive linemen on other offensive linemen, right? They're blocking each other.
Right.
But I'm telling you, man, I watch this for a living. You know me. I would not BS you. Austin Pleasance, when they signed him last year, never heard of him. Interviewed him the first day. Nice guy, decent enough guy. He told me he's a self-proclaimed nerd. He's a Star Wars fan. He's got a Chewbacca mask and a Princess Leia hat and all this crap, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm kind of a nerd. And I'm, at the end of the interview, I kind of felt like saying, minus the kinda, dude, you're a major nerd. But whatever. This guy shows up this summer. Damon, he's put on 5 to 7 pounds of muscle. He looks like a house. Damon, he's 6'7", he's 330 pounds. He was working out next to Trent Williams. If I told you there's two guys working out right there, one of those guys is a street free agent that has been on 7 different teams. And the other guy is the best offensive lineman of his generation, and he's going to Canton. You would have the damnedest time telling me which was which. That's how good Austin Pleasance has looked. He is moving. And when I said to Furster, I said, man, this guy looks amazing. He's like, can you believe how well he's moving? And I'm like, no, I really can't. I mean, this guy is the biggest lineman they have, and he's moving incredibly fast. So he looks amazing. Now, he obviously got in shape. He's obviously, I don't know. Damon, I don't know.
Here's the thing. You know what it is? Some guys
motivated.
Some guys look at off-season opportunities and they take themselves and they put themselves in the gym and they rework everything. And if you are a young Niner,
there's one other aspect of this, and it applies to you.
But here's the thing.
He has kids. He has young kids. And I think he might have coasted, and now he's got a purpose. He even said it. He's like, when I did the interview with him, he's like, yeah, man, when you have kids, it really does add everything that you're doing at work is to provide for your kids.
Yeah.
And he's like, it really hit home with him. Dude, he took this offseason, and I haven't interviewed him yet, but I will this summer. And I don't know what he did, but he freaking worked. And one of the things that's really clear is that Furster is coaching two guys really hard, Austin Pleasance and Connor Colby. He is just in the ear of Connor Colby. Dieter and I were laughing about it last night. He's like, dude, I thought maybe Connor Colby stole Chris's wallet or something. He was just like, everybody's doing a drill, and he's like, good. And then he gets to Colby, and he's like, rah, rah, rah. And then he's on to the next guy, good. And then, gets to Austin Pleasance, what the fuck? And when I asked him about it on camera, Chris smiled, big smile, because he knows I know, which is, we've seen it before, dude. It's like, the old I don't like this teacher. The teacher yells at me. No, I don't like my coach. My coach yells at me. Well, in pro sports, when they stop yelling at you, it's over.
Right.
When they are yelling at you, that means you've got a ton of talent. You got a ton of potential. So between Connor Colby, Drew Moss, who's another undrafted guy, and Austin Pleasance, they have discovered some really quality depth. I'll say this. Maybe I'm wrong, and we'll see. But I'll say this. I think there's a chance that when they reconfigure everything this summer and they get back here and they do, and Colton McKivitz looks bigger, stronger, by the way. And Burford looks leaner and faster. Some of these guys really, really got in shape.
Well, and I want to talk about Jake Brendel, because to me,
we will. But Chris said to the O lineman at the end of the year, Damon, he said, when you guys come back here, I want you to spend your offseason working on quickness, speed, and agility. So he told them that was their mandate. You guys all go work on improving your quickness, your speed, and your agility. So that's what they're working on. But Pleasance and Colby add two guys. One guy that at the end of last year that did play in that last game, and then the rookie, obviously, in Colby. But they've added a couple guys here that they really like and they think could be starters. What I was going to say is I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm going to tell you just so you can be on the lookout and the people who watch us can be on the lookout. One thing to be on the lookout for this summer is that possibly Austin Pleasance may be so good and so improved that he has to play and he has to be one of their 5 starters. And there's a chance that and if that's the case, it will only be at right tackle, which would move McKivitz to left guard or center in place of Barch or Brendel. And I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the Niners, I think, are going to try to put their best foot forward this year, put their best players on the field. And there's a chance that if Pleasance looks like this summer, that he will be a better option than, him on the line might be a better option than Barch at left guard. We'll see. But look, just factor that away. Don't be shocked if that happens this summer. If
you're Barch, if you're McKivitz, Austin Pleasance in the rearview mirror might be the spark you need to take that step forward, so it is good. That's good. Guys pushing each other is a good thing. You're so right about coaches getting in dudes' asses. It's because they really want to care. This is going to bring us something that we were going to talk about a little bit later here, Larry. When we talk about Brock Purdy, the qualities that we like, and every single time this guy steps to the microphone, it's perfect. I've never seen a guy get a 100% score on like every media moment the way that Brock Purdy does, which is part of the reason why he's a franchise quarterback, by the way. It really is. You are the public forward-facing face of a franchise when you are a team quarterback, and what you say and how it lands in the media matters. It changes the temperature in the room. Well, Brock was talking about, how he wants to be coached hard. That is a major missing ingredient in sports today across all levels of sports, from youth sports to professional sports, wanting to be coached hard, especially for a generation that was raised with, let's just say, a gentler hand than maybe the generation that you and I come from, Larry. Again, my coach, when you say coach, what's the first face that pops into your mind? For me, it's always going to be Bob Knight. And Bob Knight was the antithesis of soft, friendly approach to coaching. Like, this dude was a drill sergeant. Times changed. Bobby never did. And that's what sunk him ultimately. Brock Purdy would have loved Bob Knight. He would have loved playing for Bob Knight. And this guy knows that the chewing out only happens because it's competition, and it's not personal, and they're trying to motivate you, and wanting a hard day's work. How many guys get paid millions and millions and millions of dollars and still want a really hard day's work? I would say Brock is one of those guys. And that's just another reason why I'm excited, and another reason why I think this team fits together, because guys like that set the tone for the entire locker room. If Brock can sit there and get a 3-minute verbal undressing from Kyle Shanahan, who isn't? Who isn't capable of getting that? And when you do get that, be happy that you're getting it, because it means the guy's paying attention.